All right, what up? What up? What up? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to a brand new episode of what I think is the most electrifying baseball show on the internet, folks. I'm just putting it out there. But anyway, I'm Ivan, and as always, alongside Stefan, the regular season came and it left just like that, folks. Obviously, no baseball today, unfortunately, but the good part is that postseason baseball begins as early as tomorrow. That is why Stefan and I are here, of course, to preview some of the upcoming matchups. But Stefan and I, we talk throughout the week, occasionally leading up to shows such as the one here tonight. And we have a sense in terms of, how we would like to approach the show, what some of the topics may be. And you might have heard me say something like that in previous shows before, but I think the way we're kicking off, this postseason coverage, not just the postseason coverage, but the way the final week of the season went, the final day, and then just when you think that the final week and the final day being yesterday of the regular season is what today's show is going to be about, we find out earlier today people are losing their jobs still. Like the playoffs ain't even start. The Giants get rid of Bob Melvin. The Twins say, oh, you know what? We got one better. Rocco Baldelli, you could leave us too. So before we get into previewing any of these matchups, we have to get into like some of the things that happened as recently as today, man, and that's the beauty about baseball, right? If it's not one thing, it's the other. And I know if you're a fan, sometimes that could be a little too much for you, especially if you're a fan of a team that tends to go through, some bad things more often than not. But here we are, man. Stefan, how are you feeling? And I know you feel exactly how I feel. I said that we spoke, and here we are having to shift. Not that we're unfamiliar to it, but sometimes we just got to do it.
Man, I'm feeling on top of the world, brother. I'm gonna be honest with you. I woke up today, a little aching pain, story time. So I woke up today and I'm like, damn, yo, why does everything on my left side like hurt? My shoulder, my
Man, you
neck,
sounded like Tariq Schoolboy about a week ago.
my shoulder, my neck, my whole I'm done. And I'm like, what the hell's going on with me? And so I'm talking to Lester, my home health aide, and I'm like, Les, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through, man. Like, I don't know. He was like, listen, man, let me make you some breakfast. So he made me a Mexican omelet and had some tea on the side. And he was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna just run a hot shower for you and just let you sit in the bathroom with the shower just. And I'm like, you know what? That's gonna work. Yo, I got out. I could do this. I couldn't do this earlier today, so I'm like, all right, we on to something. I feel good, man. Playoff baseball is here. Wild card series. People losing their jobs. It is go time. I want to start somewhere in particular though, because I think this is very important to start here. Bob Melvin losing his job in San Francisco was the most predictable firing we are going to see this offseason. And I tell you why. Because I think I already know who the replacement is going to be. I have three names in mind, and I want to know what you think. Everybody has their names, and I have three. So we're going to bat this back and forth real quick, and then we're going to get to Rocco Baldelli losing his job, which also felt predictable as well.
See, this is
The
going to be interesting, though, because I haven't gone that far in terms of who I think is next for the job. So I'd love to hear what you have to say.
So I got three names because you know me. I play the mental Rolodex game with myself 24/7, 365. We always thinking 10 steps ahead, not me. And I had three names. Everybody's thinking about Bruce Bochy. I'm not even thinking about Bruce Bochy. Bruce Bochy should not manage unless you know it's a championship situation.
Yeah, I
And
don't think they're going to revisit that.
right now, the Giants are not a championship situation. As much as you would like the nostalgia of bringing Bruce Bochy back and doing all of that, I get it. I understand it. But to me, it doesn't make sense. I got three names, like I said. The first name, relatively inexperienced but very familiar with the Giants. What do you think about the idea of Hunter Pence managing the Giants next season? That's one. Two, while I mentioned his name with the Met job, if the Mets were going to get rid of Carlos Mendoza, which it appears like they're not, but we're going to get to the Mets later. Oh my God. Um,
Right.
the other name I was going to mention, now I like Hunter Pence for a reason, and this is why. I think he's going to bring the necessary juice, the necessary energy. I think when you look at Hunter Pence, he just has this ferocity to him. He's playful, but he's also very intense, very serious. Won a championship with the Giants, has his own coffee business in San Francisco, is around the team a lot, was very close to Buster Posey when they played during their championship days with the Giants. So that's why my name immediately went to Hunter Pence. Now I know that's a stretch, and I don't know if he takes the job, and I don't know what all the expectations in San Francisco. If you want that kind of stress, because Hunter Pence seems to be living a carefree life.
Right. Right.
The second name I thought of was Mark DeRosa. Why? Mark DeRosa was on the 2012 Giants that won the World Series, and he was very close to Buster Posey.
I like that.
Very, very close to Buster Posey. And I think we have to start to build. This is all about a relationship, right? These guys all have relationships with each other. They know each other. Especially if you played, you know a guy. You've been in the same room with the guy. You understand what makes him tick, what he sees, what he doesn't see, and how it works, right? So that's why I came with those two names, because they have heavy San Francisco ties, right? Because you want to see what it would look like if I decided to take this chance, if I decided to do this. And the third name that I came up with for the San Francisco Giants is Carlos Beltran,
You
because
think he's not, and I'm not saying this because I don't think he can do the job, right? But I'm just curious, is that still like out there for teams? Are they looking to hire Beltran? Because I
I
think by now, at least I would have thought he would have had a job.
no, I also think he wanted to get his feet wet in the front office and figure out what he liked, what he didn't like. Because if you remember, he he interviewed for a couple jobs
He did.
after the Met scandal. He interviewed
Right.
for a couple teams. It just didn't go anywhere. So Carlos Beltran, I'll put Carlos Beltran on the maybe list. The third real candidate I had, not to confuse you, I'm sorry. The third real candidate that I had was Benji Molina. I wonder if one of the Molina brothers, whether it's Benji or Yachty, takes that job and goes, yo, you know what? We got a young team here. We got two young catchers. We need. I would like a bilingual speaking manager that can speak English and Spanish to communicate with some of these players. And those are the names. Those are four names that I just thought of at the drop of a hat. I didn't have any sequential order and said, "Hey, this is where they should go. This is how they should line up." But the
Right.
Giants should have the pick of the litter because despite how they finished, I think that's a very competitive team. That if you put the right manager in the chair that'll get the most out of those boys, I think we're talking about something different. So, what do you think about the four names?
Right. Right. Well, I'm gonna focus on the three because Beltran, you already know where I stand with that. But
Yeah, so Beltran will put on the side, but I just
hmm
thought just because his name is still floating around in managerial circles, you have to include him. But what do you think about the three names I brought to you?
yeah,
And do you see a fit for any of those names in San Francisco?
yeah. So the in terms of what I think would be the best candidate for the job, I'd go ahead and say Mark DeRosa, right? Like, I understand the ties that you mentioned. Hunter Pence has to the franchise, as well as Buster Posey, Benji Molina to the Giants organization. Not so much Posey. By the way, I think Yachty probably ends up with like a managerial position
At
somewhere in the
some point.
big leagues before Benji even enters the picture. But who knows, right? Like some of these conversations could probably be had as we speak behind the scenes, and we don't know a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I say Mark DeRosa because he seems like a guy who is ready for it, right? Just to kind of remind you guys, he did manage the USA World Baseball Classic team the last time. He's gonna do it again next year, I believe. So, and I believe he probably played a big role in getting all of these guys to finally unite and say, "Yo, let's just show the rest of the world why USA really rocks." You know, when it comes to the game of baseball. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Mark DeRosa, absolutely. Like not only when it comes to his experience in terms of what he's done as a manager so far,
Mm-hmm.
but we've talked about it several times, Steph. Like
Yeah,
I don't know if a lot of you guys watch the network, even if you don't. Like just he understands the game. He's able to break it down in a way where even if you're not somebody who watches every day,
mm-hmm.
like the way he goes about talking about mechanics
Yeah,
when it
it's
comes to pitching, hitting, just the game from top to bottom. He understands it. And he's also young enough as well to the point where it hasn't been too long to the point where he can't relate to some of these guys who are coming up now in the game because he also understands himself.
that's a great point. I'll say this: it's not an accident he got the Team USA job. They don't give those jobs to just anybody. That means that around baseball, you are viewed as one of the next young minds to take this game into the next generation, to the next 10, 15, 20 years, or however long he manages. And I'm just like, the thing I like about Mark DeRosa, you talked about him and the way he breaks tape down and players and all that and swings and pitchers. To me, I think he's able to simplify the game to in a way where when you talk about, how do we get from point A to point B? Don't talk, baseball leads. Talk simplicity. How do we get from here to there? What do we have to do? I think he's also very good at reading a room because whether you like him or not, whether you like his analysis or not, for you to get Aaron Judge to commit to play for Team USA
First,
is a
right?
big feather in your cap. He got him to commit. He got Paul Skeens to commit. He got Bobby Wood Jr. to commit. These guys ain't just committing if it's just Joe Schmo
It's like a
running this team.
superhero movie.
Right. So he plays a big part in, hey, come on, man. Come play. Come be a part of this. We're going to do something special. That's a big, big part of why this turns out this way. And I'm going to be honest. I hope a guy like Mark DeRosa gets to manage and gets to do his thing where there's no real pressure on him. I'm not saying there's not pressure in San Francisco because that fan base is rabid when they're good. There's nothing like uh that park when it's rocking. Listen, I still call it Pac Bell from when it first opened. Know what I mean? I don't know what they call it now, but it's different when it gets rolling in there. Oracle Park is what it's called.
Right.
And so I'm at the point now where I like D-Row as the manager of the Giants. And listen, we could talk about Benji Molina and all those different names and all that, but I'm just trying to put the pieces in place where this industry, like I said, is about relationships, right? You have a relationship with Hunter Pence. You have a relationship with Mark DeRosa. Here's another name. I don't know if he does it yet because his kids are still young. A guy like Brian McCann, who he played with in Atlanta.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you saw this, Stefan, or if any of you guys who are watching right now. By the way, we see the chat. Shout out to all of you who are here nice and early. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
But I was watching Ken Rosenthal speak about, this exact thing that we're talking about. And do you know that the Giants actually had told Bob Melvin midway through the season that he was indeed actually coming back for the 2026 season? And it's kind of crazy how here we are. The regular season finally comes to an end and he gets the boot. So, what was that conversation? Not that I'm asking you, but I'm asking Giants fans. Like, if you guys come across this and if you know a little more, like, let us know. I wonder what happened between then and now because it's not like the Giants ended off the season on a terrible note. They made
See,
things interesting enough to the point where, like, they had a shot. Like, it came down to the last couple of days of the regular season.
I get it, but here's where it's going to come down to this. When you lose the clubhouse, you lose the team, right? And the reason why I feel like he was never going to make it through was you started hearing reports that he lost the clubhouse. The last thing you want to do, especially when you're trying to establish a culture, is lose the clubhouse. And I think where the Giants are, Bob Melvin is the last guy I want managing the team. There's not enough veterans on that team. He's good with veterans. He's laid back. He's not gonna push the envelope. When you start dealing with younger players, I want a guy that got some juice, some fire, that's gonna light the boys up and say, "Hey, this is a big series. We got to go get this."
Bob Melvin is more on the laid back side, right?
He
Right.
ain't the type of dude that says, "Well, I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna lay back. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna be blah blah blah." And
I wonder
him.
where he ends up next. Actually,
If I'm if I'm being honest, I don't believe Bob Melvin manages in the big leagues again because
wow.
you the way the game is going, you have to be able to um grow with the times.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob Melvin doesn't seem like he can do that. His temperament is only one speed. He doesn't go other speeds. It's only one way. All right. So the best guess would be that, hey, maybe this is his final stop and you need somebody in there with some juice. Um to jump around
Mm-hmm.
um to jump around, right? I really, really, really am. What are the Minnesota Twins doing?
Honestly, I don't think it matters who is actually the manager of the Twins because
It
they've
doesn't.
got other things to worry about.
It doesn't. But here's the sad part of this entire reality. The sad part is, yo, fam, you blew up the team. What did you expect him to do?
Right, exactly.
Listen, Minnesota, go with God. Like, I'm at the point I hear everybody say, "Oh, you gotta hire a Justin Moore. No, you gotta hire a Torrey Hunter. You gotta." You think any of these guys want to walk into the cesspool that is the Minnesota Twins that don't know if they're gonna keep the team, sell the team, scratch their behind, scratch their head? Well, they don't know what they're doing out there. Why would I take that job when
Yeah.
nobody knows what the hell is going on?
I agree, and we've talked about the show early this year. You know, there's a
It's
lot of things that need to be solved behind the scenes in
they
Minnesota, and if there's anybody who, as you mentioned, Stefan, especially if you're a fan of the Twins, who you're looking for an ex-player who was an all-time great, at least to your franchise, right? Being the Twins in this case. Before step on the gas pedal when it comes to that stuff, there's a lot of uncertainty, and I think for
yeah.
that job to be appealing to anyone, quite frankly, right? It's you got to figure that stuff out
You
first.
got to figure out the ownership situation. You just have to. And until you do, they're going to keep hiring managers that really can't manage. And that's just the harsh realities of it. Like, we can sit here and say, "Oh, this works and that works and blah, blah, blah works." And we don't know what any of this means. Right. So it's just,
Especially with a team like that, right?
yeah. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Rocco Baldelli was the one that initiated and said, "Fire me, yo. I can't win here. What am I doing? I'm wasting away. What are we doing? What are we doing?" And that, like Rick just said right there. I have to put this comment up. Thank you, Rick. This feels like a mercy firing. This feels like, all right, man. Yo, you done been through enough. You done been through the battles. You done been through the wars. We gotta let you go. We
I
just gotta
agree.
let
I
you go.
agree. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a very, very, I would say, unsurprising firing. The Bob Melvin firing was also unsurprising. The thing that surprised me, though, the Pittsburgh Pirates extended Don Kelly to be their manager. And I was like,
Really, I didn't hear about that. I missed that.
they did play better under him in the second half. They were very good since he took over for damn, who was the manager before him? I'm drawing a blank, and I just had his name too. Don Kelly had those boys playing some baseball. Listen, the
Right.
Pirates are bad. Bob Nutting, we know he's a disaster. The owner, we get it. But at
The
least,
fans say it.
yeah, at least he had them playing competitive ball. So you have to
They
give him
even made that series, that final series against the Reds, interesting. Where like they gave
yes,
the Reds a run for their money. Like, hold
yes,
on, like I know you guys are a lot closer to a playoff spot than we are, but we're not just gonna sit here and act like the
yes,
Pirates are gonna be the reason why you guys are in. They made it interesting for sure.
for sure. By the way, the name of the former manager that managed before him was Derek Shelton.
Hmm.
Just to get that, just to thank you, Rick, just to get that out the way. But it was Derek Shelton. But so the Pirates actually spent some money. Does that translate to them spending money on the field? We'll see. Maybe when pigs actually start frying and grow wings. Who knows?
In our dreams.
Um,
Oh boy.
Speaking of in our dreams, let's transition right here. boy, did we got some juicy matchups in this wild card series, in this wild
Mm-hmm.
card round.
For real.
I'm gonna start with the less obvious. I'm gonna start with the most obscure series to many people. I'm starting with Guardians Tigers, and I'm taking the Guardians in 2.
Listen, I wouldn't say Guardians in 2. I have the Guardians being the team to win the series. Absolutely. Now, in 2, here's why I wouldn't actually disagree with it entirely, Stefan. And we spoke about this before. And for those of you who were paying attention when it came down to like not just the final week of the regular season, but even a little further behind, like we could say 2 weeks, I would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
For those who were paying attention, especially if you were watching those final 2 matchups between the Guardians and the Tigers, the Guardians had to face Tariq Skubal, I believe it was twice. Within a span of a week. And while it wasn't Skubal's fault that the Tigers lost, I think the Guardians have a game plan when it comes to him being on the mound. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Unless Tariq Skubal is going to go out there and pitch a complete game shutout and throw 9 innings, that is the only way I see the Tigers winning that game 1, because I think the Guardians, knowing that they already took the Tigers out, they've already defeated Tariq Skubal twice within a span of 7 days. You're telling me they're going into that game 1 matchup thinking that they can't do it again?
Listen,
absolutely.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Outside of Tariq Skubal throwing a complete game, the Guardians are going to beat Tariq Skubal tomorrow. Telling you right now. In order for the Tigers to win that game, Tariq Skubal got to throw a complete game.
Right, I agree. Because the moment he's out, it's a wrap.
The Guardians look at the Tigers bullpen like sharks circling blood. Nah, we see y'all. We know what y'all about. Tommy Kahnle, throw your 95th changeup.
I kind of feel like the Guardians see these guys warming up, and like they're like, yeah, we can't wait for one of you guys to come out.
Come on, throw that changeup again, Tommy Kahnle. Come on, real vest. We seen you implode before. Boy, it's going to be jumping in Cleveland tomorrow, boy.
It's crazy, man, because I remember it's just last year around this time, we were here literally on the channel talking to you guys, and we were talking about how great Tariq Skubal was, and that it didn't matter who the Tigers were going to face. Game 1, you already know Detroit was going to be up regardless. And here we are just a year later, and it's not that he's bad. He's probably going to win the American League Cy Young Award, right? He's more than likely going to win it. But to know that he is still that good, but a team such as the Guardians, the Cleveland Guardians, have him figured out to a T is crazy. And it's not like they do anything wild when he's on the mound. They just know when to get him out of a game, and that's exactly when they're going to have the Tigers.
But see, I want to take something you said and go the complete opposite direction. This is going to be the disagreement show, and God damn it, I'm good with it. It's not that they got him figured out, because the whole league don't got him figured out. This guy's the best pitcher to me in baseball.
Yeah.
This dude is different.
Other than Paul Skeens.
Right. Yeah. No, they're close.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say they got him figured out. I would say his offense has betrayed him to the point where he's easy to figure out.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, yo, get him out of the game, let him throw his 6, get him up over 100 pitches, and we got a shot. Because Riley Green's going to disappear like pixie dust. Gleyber Torres is going to turn back into the alien Martian that I thought he was. Get him off my team, and he's not even on my team, but get him out of here some more. Right? Spencer Torkelson disappeared like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Nobody done seen him for a month. You want to start hitting Torque, please? Okay. Are we really sitting here pinning the Tigers postseason hopes on the idea that Tariq Skubal has to turn into a miracle worker? Is this what we're doing right now? Because that is the only way you beat the Cleveland Guardians. And something has to be said. With the
and I'm gonna be honest too, right? Because I know we shared that we both have the Guardians winning the series, right? But even if you were to make a case for the Tigers, I don't even think it's the pitching that wins them. I think it's the offense. The offense has to show up in the ways that it did earlier in the season
Right.
for the Tigers to even have a serious chance. Because the good thing about the Guardians is, while we know that their offense is not nearly as good as the Tigers,
Right.
but
Yeah.
one thing for sure is that pitching matters in the postseason. The Guardians have that. So it doesn't matter who's pitching for the Tigers.
No.
The Guardians are going to make sure that most of these games, I wouldn't be surprised whether it goes 2, 3, whatever.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if all of these games in this small series, or short series rather, are all low-scoring games. And it's because the Guardians know how to play that brand of baseball. And that's gonna keep them in this playoffs in the long run.
Right. And I think the thing that's beautiful about this is you're gonna test the metal of how good the Tigers are mentally. Because I want to see what happens when Scooble leaves the game. And if it's tied, and if it's like 1-1, middle of the seventh,
It's trouble. I'm
and you're
telling
like,
you.
yo, who's back there for us? Who's gonna get these last 9 outs? Because listen, you know what's crazy? You know what's insane to say? This is without Emmanuel Clase. There's no Emmanuel Clase warming up back there.
Right.
And the Guardians still have the edge in the bullpen. To think that I would have uttered those words to you on September 29th, because we're recording this on September 29th, is utterly insane. I can't even begin to even put into words like your closer got suspended for gambling and your bullpen is still better than the bullpen. That are you what?
You know, I would go as far as to say is since he hasn't been able to suit up for the Guardians, I think that the Guardians bullpen has been even better without him. And that's not a knock on Clase at all, but that's just to give credit with the Guardians pitching overall. Like from the starting rotation, Stefan, you shared something with me when it comes to the Guardians rotation and how they performed for the month of September.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. I think 2 guys had ERAs below 2. A couple of guys had ERAs in the 2s. I mean, listen, and it's not just 1 or 2 dudes.
As a staff,
from top bottom.
As a staff, you want to know what the ERA was before the game on Saturday, where they gave up where they gave up 4 runs? 2.04 was their collective ERA for the month of September before Saturday. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm. They're ready. They're ready.
Gavin Williams is no slouch. Tanner Bybee is no slouch. And the third brother's name, I can't pronounce his name, but I think it's Sarconi or
yes, I know who you're talking about. Right.
I'm gonna tell you, there has to be we have to look at the Guardians and say, you know what? Maybe this is their chance to do something that is remarkable.
That would be crazy to say too, man, because really think about this year's Guardians, right? Like they moved on from Josh Naylor. That was a huge loss for their offense, right? Like last season, you looked at Jose Ramirez and you saw that they had a guy like Josh Naylor.
Yeah.
So he had somebody who could back him up. Now you remove that because you got rid of him, right? You shipped him to Arizona. Arizona ultimately shipped him to Seattle. And it seems like it's been happily ever after because he's been loving Seattle ever since. But you move on from him. You move on from Shane Bieber at the deadline. You say, Toronto, you could have him. We don't know what he's going to be anyway, but hopefully he's good for you guys. We have no problem moving on. And you are still in this position. Like, it's crazy. This Guardians team, when it comes to talent, I don't think they're as good as last year's Guardians team.
Right.
The difference with this year's team is they play with a lot of heart, right?
They do, yeah.
And I think they know going into a lot of these games that they're the underdog. But you know what? Rather than them seeing it as a negative, they run with it and they say, listen, man, if this is how the league views us, let them view us like that because we're going to show you regardless.
We said the same thing about them last year and they ended up in the championship series.
Right.
So let's not sit there and act like they haven't done this before, right? For the record, you could sit here and say, well, the Guardians are a little engine that could, did a little engine that could, did a little engine that could. The little engine is kicking you ass. They're letting you know, like, the little engine stuff doesn't exist around here because they said the same thing about us going into last year against Detroit, and they beat Detroit.
Yeah.
right? We said the same thing about them year after year. I don't know how the Guardians do it. The payroll's really low. They're limited. They have no assets. It's and you turn around and you look at where they are and you're like, wow, this is a really feisty. And this goes to Chris Antonetti, the whole the general manager, the president, like everybody involved with this team deserves a level of credit where it's like they just continually find ways to be in positions where come playoff time, they're dangerous. Are they going to win the World Series? No, they're not. They're
Mhm.
not going to win the World Series. But you at least have to respect where most teams in the sport, one, A, don't want to spend money. They don't want to compete. The Guardians, yes, they don't spend with the top spenders in the league, but they put together a representative team year in, year out. Like Ryan Rocchio's turned into one of the best infielders in the game. And if you don't know baseball, you don't know who that guy is, right?
Right.
Like Kyle Manzardo's a young stud of theirs, right? Like these guys are performing at levels in which you're like, well, are you kidding me? And a guy like Jonathan Rodriguez, who we didn't know who he was until a couple days ago, he
Mhm.
hits a home run to give them lead against Texas on Saturday night. And I'm sitting here losing my mind going, this is incredible.
Listen, I think the team is set up to take out the Tigers.
Right.
I think how they've played over the final month to month and a half of the season is going to play a big part because they have already been in that gear, right? Sox fan for life was good. I see you.
Was good, bro.
I think they've already been in playoff mode, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the Tigers have been trying to turn the key and the car back on to try to get the ignition going again. And there's been moments where they've been able to get it back on, but it hasn't been able to stay on the way it was early in the
Mm-hmm.
season for the
Yeah.
Tigers. And another thing I wanted to say too, Stefan, is listen, how many teams in Major League Baseball would have looked at being as far as 15 and a half games back in their division and would have had the balls to say, you know what?
We
We're
coming
going
back.
for it. Every other team would have said, man, 2026, like, get your tickets ready for opening day. We're done. We don't give a damn about this Yanny. I mean, me personally,
Right.
I don't think I would have wanted to come back. But shout out to the Guardians for getting it
They
done.
listen, and even if they lose to Seattle in the next round, so what? So what? If you're a Tiger fan today, you should be ashamed of the way this organization handled themselves. Ashamed. Ivan, they had a 12 and a half game lead on August 25th. It is gone. You have to go on the road and hope and pray you survive.
I got to give you a lot of credit, Stefan. And, I think I'm choosing the right time to say this because I remember just a few weeks ago, right? Like we had spoke about the Guardians throughout the regular season when it came to various things, right? But as we got to the ending of the season, I remember I told you, I was like, yo, bro, you kind of caught me off guard. I don't know if any of you guys remember. We had originally spoken about like the Guardians, like playing some decent baseball. And, Stefan was like, yo, who knows if this turns into something where we're still talking to them. Well, about them rather, as we get deeper into the season.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And I got to give you credit because had you not done that, I think I would have called on much later, right? Because I was telling you, even when you had first brought it up, like, yo, the Guardians may not do it, but they also can.
Yeah.
And because they may possibly do it, just keep an eye out on them. When you said that, I was already on some like, nah, the Guardians, they too far back. I don't think they doing it. And here we are. Like, not only are we talking about the Guardians being in the playoffs, we have them, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like, chat, let us know. Most people have the Guardians beating the Tigers. That's crazy.
Listen, even if Scooble comes up big tomorrow, that bullpen got more PTSD than you should ever have.
Well, that's the only shot I give the Tigers, really. Like, if you don't win tomorrow, it's a wrap. I still
Like,
have the Guardians winning regardless, though.
I mean, at this point, right? Like, we could sit here and say, well, maybe Scooble comes up big. Scooble got to be superhuman.
I'm telling you, it better be a complete game shutout or a game where he only allows one run. I'm telling you.
he has to be beyond the point of immaculate tomorrow. And here's the thing, you know that if you don't win tomorrow, Jack Flaherty's he's dolphin food. He's food, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really at the point where it's like I can't even say for sure that I got the Tigers even making a game too close. Because if the Guardians come out and you beat Scooble, right? I'm supposed to be scared of Jack Flaherty?
Right.
Why?
And that's why I could see, because your original point was you have the Guardians in 2.
Right.
Right? I have the Guardians just winning the series, seeing that it could possibly go 3.
Right.
But I think if the Guardians go up 1-0, I mean, it's a wrap. I think I could see the Tigers getting swept. Yeah.
I could see why that, and the thing is, maybe the playoffs are different. Maybe Schoolboy says, all right, enough games, enough of these kid games. We going 9 strong. We winning 2-0. I'm putting my big boy pants on, and we'll see you in Seattle. Maybe,
Isn't that crazy? Like, take a second, folks, to really
maybe.
understand what we're talking about. Like, you would have thought Tariq Schoolboy and the Tigers were going in there to face the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Padres, one of these teams that are like well equipped, all around rotation,
Right.
bullpen lineup.
Yeah.
And listen, no disrespect to Cleveland, no disrespect to the Guardians, but we're talking about Tariq Schoolboy having to pitch damn near perfect against the Guardians.
Yo, you literally have to be that, because here's the thing. I believe momentum being a real thing. Momentum is a real thing. And people say, well, what do you mean? If the Guardians win this series, that proves the theory that momentum is a real thing that needs to be accounted for.
Needs to be studied.
Yeah, we account for every other analytic. When he moves 2 steps this way, when he moves 2 steps that way, when he moves this way, when he hit the ball this, we account for every analytic possible. But we don't account for 2 things: baseball intuition and heart. Because heart could get you through a series. Heart can't get you through a postseason, but it can get you through a series. And here's the thing. You don't think the Guardians been hearing all year long, yo, you're not good enough. Your offense is trash. The Tigers are going to smoke you. This ain't even going to be a series. They're looking at Schoolboy like, yo, my boy, we just beat you twice, and you had to win those games just to not be in this position. We about to send you bye-bye.
Yeah.
We about to send you bye-bye. Speaking of sending people bye-bye, this one's a real toss-up for me, and it shouldn't be, but it is. Reds, Dodgers. Toss-up city for me. And I'm going to tell you why.
Wow. Okay.
Because if you told me that the Dodgers were rolling in with a fully healthy, fully stocked, fully rejuvenated, and fortified bullpen, I said Cincinnati doesn't make it out alive. But the fact that we got to throw young Roki Sasaki, the fact that your bullpen is so makeshift right now that you throwing everybody and their mama out there to get out for you, bad sign. Bad sign. And I'm not saying that the Reds win the series. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying to you is the Dodgers know the pressure is on them. We got to get out this round. If we don't, they're going to be killing us like they're killing the Mets right now.
Listen, the same way you said you have the Guardians beating the Tigers in 2. In this case, I have the Dodgers beating the Reds in 2, man.
That's fair. Because
I think what it's really going to come down to, right? Because we all know that it was the Reds and that pitching staff that got them to where they're at right now, right? But I think in order for them to even make any type of noise, you're going to need the offense to show up. And I told you this before, Stefan. Like, we've seen the Dodgers banged up and all, dudes playing on one leg, 1 foot, however you want to put it.
Yep.
And they still got the job done, right?
No doubt. Yeah.
And with it being this early in the postseason and the Reds being the first team in line to go up against the Dodgers, I think the Dodgers run right through them, whether they're healthy or not. But I could be wrong. And that's the great thing about baseball, right?
That's fair. The reason why I'm giving the Reds a puncher's chance is it only takes one swing of the bat. It only takes one call, one pitch, one hustle double, one at bat, one thing to get the psyche of the Dodgers feeling like, uh-oh, hold up now. This ain't gonna be as easy as we thought.
Right.
And I'm not saying that the Reds do it. What I'm saying is you have to at least put into the Dodgers' minds, yo, don't let this game get to the 6th inning tie. Don't let us get to the 7th inning, feel like we could win the game. Because regardless whether they can or not, the last thing you want to do is give a team like the Reds some confidence, feeling like they could walk in there and a miracle might happen.
Right. I wanna show something. Sox fan for life. Shout out to you. He says Hunter Green has a big boy performance tomorrow. And you know what? Listen,
he's gonna need it.
I hope he does it because if the Reds do get a game, I believe it's gonna have to be that game 1.
Yeah, he's gonna need it because here's the reality of it. Even if you throw in Abbott and whoever they throw, whether it's Burns or whoever or the Dolo, you're gonna need the game 1 is the tone setter, right? So if the Reds can somehow sneak and get game 1, I'm not saying they do it, but I'm saying there's a chance. Because here's the thing: you don't think the Dodgers feel the pressure to repeat? Damn, we in a wild card series. Damn, we got to face this young team with this good pitching. And
I think they do feel it, but I don't think a team like the Reds has them on edge how maybe another team might moving forward.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. The one thing I've learned about postseason baseball, though, is you can never overlook anybody, man. You just can't. We sit here and say the Dodgers are winning 2, but who's to say that the Reds don't make it interesting? And we're going back for a game 3 in Los Angeles with everybody white knuckling it.
Listen, if I really tell you, oh, Robbie, what's up? Looks like a new guy, right?
What's going on, man?
That name in here, Robbie. Welcome to the show. Oh, by the way, since right here, Robbie, we're actually 40 minutes into the show. Yo, everybody who's here.
Finish the point, and then we'll get to it. Finish.
Yeah. No. I was gonna start the point. That's why I didn't even get into it yet.
So start the point, and then we'll come back to
Follow us on Instagram real quick, TikTok, Twitter, 27 Outs 3C. Make sure you like the video as well. Subscribe if you're new here. So what I was gonna say was if I had to actually like tell you what I would want to happen if we lived in a perfect world, I want Hunter Green to, show the Dodgers what he's capable of.
Yeah.
Who's going to be around in the National League, who they're going to have to face not only in the playoffs now, but for years to come. Like, I want Hunter Green to go out and show them, like, who is Hunter Green? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, even a banged-up Dodgers, they could go around and slap up the Reds like, who are y'all? I'm telling you.
But it's supposed to happen, though.
Right.
I'm not looking for the supposed to happens. I'm looking for maybe somebody gets off the mat and punches you in the head, and you sitting there going, hold up, I didn't expect that punch. That came from out of nowhere. Listen, I'm not saying they do it, but I'm saying there's a shot. That is all I'm saying.
We'll see. I don't believe in that shot, but I will be watching. That's for sure.
There's a shot.
I think it's got some people in the chat saying that they got the Reds winning at least one game.
I don't want to get to Yankees Red Sox just quite yet. I want to save that. So let's go to the other one, which is the other wild card matchup. Fresh my memory, bro. It is
we got Cubs Padres.
I'm sorry, Chicago, but valiant effort. Glad you showed up, but nah.
By the way, they're going with Matthew Boyd for game 1. So for those who don't know, Matthew Boyd is their number 3.
I mean, they got no choice.
He's had a hell of a season. But I mean, that's your game 1 guy. You're right. They have no choice after what happened with Horton.
Yeah, you kind of got to go with what you got. But can I say something crazy? I got the Padres winning the series, but even though I got them winning the series, I don't trust it. I don't trust it long term.
I have the Padres in 3. I think the Cubs certainly get at least one game.
So you got the Cubs getting one.
So, because here's the thing, right? Like, while I do prefer the Padres in terms of their rotation, certainly the bullpen. Like, that's not even a conversation worth having.
Mm.
Oh, big Cubs fan. Oh,
Welcome.
yo, perfect timing, bro, because we're actually talking about
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
the Cubs and the Padres.
So give us your prediction real quick. Give us your
right.
prediction.
So while I don't believe that the Cubs are a better team at all, the reason why I do give them at least a game is that Cubs team could hit, right? Like, I know all year we've heard about Kyle Tucker and PCA, but they got other dudes in that lineup who could rake as well. Seiya Suzuki, who also won Player of the Week. He had a hell of a week to wrap the season up. They got Bush as well, who had a hell of a season for them. Nico Horner.
Right.
And I think, listen, it's not like their rotation is a bunch of scrubs, right? Like, Matthew Boyd having the season he had, like, listen, if it just so happens that he got to be the guy who pitches game one, go out there and show us what you've been doing all year long.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Listen, Rick makes a good point here about the one thing that I'm fearful of. I'm fearful that we could talk about how good the Padres are all day long. The Padres have not been good on the road this year. They haven't been good on the road the last few years. So if you're telling me that this series was starting at Petco Park, I would probably have a better sense of what the Padres were going to do. Like, I'd probably have a sense of like, yo, I think the Padres might do something special, right? Because we might be able to see them feed off the home crowd. We might be able to see them get into a rhythm. That might be something that they could benefit from.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I'm giving the Cubs a puncher's chance in this series is the Padres haven't hit either. The Padres have been one of the worst offenses in baseball for the entirety of the season. So who's to say you go on the road and the offense just disappears and doesn't show? Mm-hmm. And Kyle Tucker starts hitting. Seiya starts hitting. You got Nico Horner hitting all over the joint. PCA has a big home run. This one shows up. And now we got a completely different series.
It can happen, right?
By the way, Wrigley in the playoffs is I'm jealous, Robbie, man. I'm jealous, brother. I'm jealous.
I think the Padres are going Nick Pivetta, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yo, how about I know we're gonna talk Red Sox Yankees later, but how do Red Sox fans feel? Like, once upon a time he was in their rotation. And now he's with San Diego.
Listen, he's been great for them, right?
Oh, yeah, money. Absolutely money
for them. But I don't know, man. The Padres got to prove it to me. There's a guy in the Bible by the name of Doubting Thomas. I am Doubting Thomas right now.
Oh, by the way, speaking of the Padres, Ramon Laureano
done for the series.
He's not playing, and he's a guy who, ever since the Padres acquired him, he's played a huge role in that offense, right? So, not just the offense, but Ramon Laureano is also a heck of an outfielder defensively. And so that's a huge blow.
He's been hot offensively for them too since he got there, yeah.
So the Padres, as of now, going into the wild card series, are going to be without Ramon Laureano, Jason Adam, and Xander Bogaerts, right? There might be some others as well, but I
think Xander came back. I think he played the last week, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was out there.
If he did, I don't remember, but I know when he went down, they said he was out for the season.
Nah, he's been rehabbing back? And hitting and doing all that. I don't know if he got on the field this weekend because I didn't really.
Right. Let's see.
Let's double check that. But but the Cubs got some big injuries too because we don't know how healthy Kyle Tucker's calf is at this moment, right? We don't.
Yeah, know. But I think the Cubs injuries are. I don't think. I think the Padres have depth.
He
right
played this week. Yeah, he played. I knew.
Okay, so he's back. All right, so he's back. So remove him, and the other two remain. Which is good for the Padres, right? And because he was actually hitting the ball really well before he went down. So
yeah, he was starting. He was starting to look like himself.
Like, right, exactly.
Power. Yeah. I got Padres in this series. I got Padres in 3.
Padres in 3. I'm right there with you.
Padres in 3. Sure. Gonna be a tough series, but I just think the talent gap in terms of the pitching is gonna be too much to overcome. But as we say that, we might come here next week or in a couple days, and the Cubs might be sitting pretty, singing "Flying the W" all over Wrigley Field. What happened to that Padre take?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, what I was saying, I almost forgot it, but it came back to me. So, in terms of the Cubs and the Padres, while I understand both teams are dealing with, injuries,
Yeah.
I think the Padres are built to the point where they can actually overcome them early in the playoffs, right? Not to say
You
that it
hope.
won't catch up to them eventually,
You
but I
hope.
think
Yeah.
it'll be in the later rounds. And I think a team such as the Cubs, and I'm
Hmm.
sorry for Robbie, I know you're new here, but I think you guys can't really suffer any more blows if that makes sense. So,
Yeah. Yeah. You hope that the Cubs are just in survival mode right now. That's what it feels like to me.
yeah.
It feels like they're in survival mode, and if you can survive this, you may get hot. Who knows? Playoff baseball is very weird, but it's also very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of weird and beautiful, I'm gonna get this out the way right now. I'm gonna be in the building tomorrow night at Yankees Red Sox at Yankee Stadium.
Right. Oh, also, since you're saying that, friendly reminder. I haven't said it yet. I know I said it on last week's show. I know Robbie, you're new here, so it'll be good to share this now. We are gonna be recording 3 times per week throughout October, guys. So I know a lot of you guys, always stop by Monday nights, exactly how we are right now. But
Mhm,
keep in mind that we're gonna update you guys, as the playoffs progresses, as we get deeper into the postseason.
mhm,
um, so pay attention to that. But with you saying that, Stefan, you're gonna be in the building for game one of
mhm.
Yankees Red Sox. Wednesday is actually the second time that we are going to record for this week. And we're gonna be doing game two, actually, in terms of post-game coverage.
Mhm.
It'll be game two of
Of Yankees
Yankees
Red
Red
Sox.
Sox, right?
Okay. I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss off my Yankee fans, but I'm taking the Sox.
Wow. You bold, brother. We got to get into this. By the way, Sox fan for life. He says he'll be at game two. That's dope.
My Yankee fan brain is like, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way, there's no way. I just look at a brother like Garrett Crochet and I'm like, damn.
It's like a slingshot coming your way from the left side.
Yeah, it's like, damn, man. And
Yeah.
Alex Bregman done hurt me too many times, man. Um,
What are you traumatized
yeah,
when
yeah,
you see
yeah.
Alex Bregman in the box come October? It's like he's
Yup.
a different human
I
being.
got PTSD, man. Alex Cora done giving me PTSD from all those playoff performances at Yankee Stadium, just out managing Aaron Boone. I think it's gonna happen again. I'm hoping the Yankees win. I will be in my Yankee gear tomorrow at the stadium. If you see me, come by, say hello. I might actually do some, I might just jump on a YouTube real quick, live from the stadium, just to say what's up, so you can get a feel, walk around pregame, talk to the people, get their predictions and all that. But I'm not feeling great about the Yankees going into tomorrow night. I'm not feeling great about the Yankees going
Damn,
into
yo,
the
well,
city.
I'm confused, bro. It's like a sudden switch up because the conversations that we have off the show, it didn't really seem like you were worried. Not to
Well,
say that you thought it was gonna be easy.
no,
I'm not
it's
gonna sit here and say that you were saying that, but you
here's
certainly were implying, at least to me at
no,
first,
no,
that
because
thought the Yankees got it.
I always said to you, if they win the division, I think that's going to help. That's going to be beneficial to them. It just feels like when you're in a best of three and you really have to take every game as its own entity.
Mhm.
Aaron Boone has not shown me throughout the course of his postseason career he understands how to do that.
Right.
Short series eat him alive. They just eat him alive. He doesn't get out of his own way. He overthinks things. Like, I already hate the lineup going into tomorrow with you got Goldschmidt, they got Rosario playing third. I can't stand it.
Mhm. Well, I think that's what they're doing for the lefty matchup, right?
You know what? I understand that. That's fine. Paul Goldschmidt's numbers have been atrocious in the second half against lefties. Ben Rice should
I hear
be
you, bro.
Ben Rice should be at first base. You already playing scared and into the hands of Alex Cora.
Right.
You're already playing scared when we're sitting here having a conversation of Slater being out in left field. I don't want to hear that. You already sound like you're ready to concede.
Wait, they have him in left field for tomorrow?
That's probably where they're gonna go. Yeah.
Oh hell no! See that I'm a little. I don't
So it's
know.
like you starting to play these games already where it's like, yo, but maybe if, yo, but maybe if, yo, but go with your lineup.
Right, right. Look at how
Don't
you
play no
ended the season
games.
off too. I would honestly, I would have said,
I
"Yo,
wouldn't touch a
it's been
thing.
working. Leave it alone until it breaks."
I would not touch a thing. The only thing that I would do differently is this. I probably book Caballero as second just because I don't know how healthy Jazz is with the forearm. So that would be my only concern right now.
Right.
Because you see mock up lineups and you're like, yo, Goldschmidt, you haven't hit in a month, bro. Like, we're really putting Austin Slater out there. What are we talking
I hope they don't do
about,
that.
bro?
Like you finished the season on an 8-game winning streak. Like just leave it as it is.
See, but this is what the Yankees try to. The reason why I'm afraid is because this time of the season is like when they like to get cute. They like to, oh, let's experiment, let's try this, let's do. Ain't no time for that. Because what Alex Cora is gonna do, he's gonna take your experiment and go, oh, you got cute, yeah. Let me get my man's out the bullpen. That because I've been waiting for you to pull Jazz off the bench all night. I've been waiting for you to pull Jason off the bench all night. I've been waiting for you to pull McMahon off the bench all night. I've
Right.
been waiting. I'm ready to go before you even give me the chance to make the change.
So I have a question because you shared something earlier today in the chat, and there was some news. Sox fan for life. You probably know about this. There was some news that had came out regarding Lucas Giolito. Right. By the way, I got Yankees in 3 when it comes to the Yankee series. Well, Yankees Red Sox in a wild card. I got Yankees in 3. I could certainly see the Red Sox getting at least one game. Now the Giolito news. He's not pitching Game 3. Right. Is that what came out or?
He's not pitching probably the rest of the play. He's going to get his elbow checked.
And this is why I don't see how the Red Sox could come out on top in such a short series because
So
you got Crochet and Bayo as your number
who the
one and
Yankees
two.
have not beat in a big spot
Right.
at all this year.
I get it. I certainly get it. But I think I would love for it to be a split and let Game 3 be the deciding factor. And I think if it gets to that point, that's where I think the Yankees probably have the upper hand, especially
So
with the
look,
Giolito news now.
what I would say is this.
Sox and for life, since you're here, how do you feel about that too, bro? Like, are
Yeah,
you a little worried at all or?
yeah, for sure. What I would say is this. Alex Cora is going to manage the games 1 and 2, as if his life is on the line because I don't have a game 3 starter lined up. I got to end this now. I got to end it now. I can't play around and go to a game 3. And if you're the Yankees, why do you want to put game 3 in the hands of a guy that just got to the big leagues 5 minutes ago? Both of these managers have to see. This is what's fascinating about the cat and mouse game that's about to be played here. Whoever makes the first chess move is going to lose. Whoever is reactionary is going to lose. This is why the Yankees are already worrying me because they're already being reactionary and we haven't even played a game yet.
That's a great point. I like how you put that. Yeah.
They're already thinking like, yo, damn, but it might not go our way. We might have to change things up. And yo, you just won 8 games in a row. And I'm gonna say this too for the record.
Also, it could come from this too, though, bro. Like the Red Sox. I was looking earlier today at the numbers. Not only for this series, but just everything that's about to happen in the coming days. The Red Sox defeated the Yankees 9 times this season. So while I understand, and I also said it myself, like, yo, why not leave it as it is?
Yeah.
Things have been rocking and rolling for you in the Bronx. Maybe that could be their response or their reaction, as you said, to the Red Sox beating them 9 times in the regular season.
Here's the problem, though, right? You know what the first move always shows to me? Fear. When you make the first move in a short series and nobody asked you to make that move, but you made it before the game even started, that shows fear. Because you've been whipping everybody's behind for the last month. You got the best record in baseball since August 11th. And now all of a sudden, when you get to big boy time, you want to play around? Nah. Ahmed Rosario's a nice player. He's a nice player. But there's no way that Ahmed Rosario should be. Listen, I don't care what Ryan McMahon does with the bat. Ryan McMahon might save a game with his glove.
Mm-hmm.
And you playing around putting Ahmed Rosario at third base. Alex Bregman hits a rocket down the line. There's 2 runners on. That's going towards the corner. It's 3-0 Sox by the time we sit down. Because you trying to get cute. Listen, you get cute in a series like this, you will get sent home. They're banking too much on the idea that Big G and Aaron Judge are going to have big playoff series. In my head, Aaron Judge is going to slump again until I see otherwise.
Yes, that's my mentality going into these playoffs, right?
And that is why the Yankees are not going to survive this wild card round, because Aaron Judge got to be Aaron Judge in order for you to even go anywhere where you're trying to go, especially in a short series where it's best of 3. Like you lose tomorrow, you wake up Wednesday morning feeling like, oh.
So let me ask you this, right? So I've got
Yo.
Yankees in 3. Are you going Yankees as well, or you think the Red Sox take out the Yankees?
I'm going Red Sox in 2.
Wow, yo, folks. I mean, yo, make sure you thumbs up the video because Stefan is saying some next up. Listen, I don't think you're crazy. Is it possible? Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question. If by the time I'm settled into my seat at about 6:30, 6:45, right? But I'll be in the seats way before that. I'll be in my seat by about 5:30. Who weekend? I'm getting to the stadium about 4:00.
Wait, hold on. Don't tell me that you're gonna be able to tell whether the Yankees win or lose from the moment you step foot in the building. Because if you do that, brother, you might as well be a psychic.
No. I'm not saying I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is this, right? The energy in the building, I want to know whether it's fearful or I want to know whether we about to party. I'll be able to tell you by the 3rd inning, yo, it's tense in here. People sitting on their hands. They don't know what to do. They don't know whether to celebrate. They don't know what to do. Aaron Boone's, he's been chomping the same piece of gum for about 4 hours now. This brother don't know what to do. And I'm telling you this right now. I'm very big at during games. I like to look in the dugout. I like to see how people are moving around, what the vibe is, you know what I'm saying? By the time we get to about the 3rd inning tomorrow, if it's tight in there, brother, and you know what I mean, where the stadium starts booing, there's no cheering, it's silent, and all you hear is the kids, no adults, everybody's just sitting back in their seat drinking a beer. I'm walking in there tomorrow and I'm like, yo, change my mind. Make me feel like this ain't 2021 all over again. Make me feel like this ain't 2022 all over again. Make me feel like you guys are actually going to show up when it's game time. Because here's the reality of it, right? We know what Big G about to do. Big G's going to be Big G regardless what happens. But Giancarlo Stanton can't be the only one that gets you some offense.
Right.
Right? And it's bad enough that big fella doesn't hit in the playoffs. And now you're getting cute with lineups? Why? Ben Rice has been one of your better hitters all year. You playing around? You're not playing him tomorrow? How are you giving that Alex Cora that much power in his brain already to say, look, they got a 25 home run man sitting on the bench because they know my lefty about to carve him up for breakfast.
Right.
And also, and I'm not crapping on Max Fried. Max Fried has been sensational for the Yankees this year. He's been amazing.
And also, by the way, he also has, some previous postseason experience with his time with the Braves. Yeah.
He does. But I'm listen, call a Yankee fan PTSD. I want to be wrong. I want the Yankees to be in Toronto on Saturday when we get to the divisional round. But I seen Alex Cora do it to me too many times. I'm going Red Sox in 2, and the Yankees are going home.
Red Sox in 2. Yo, this dude just dropped a bomb, folks. This is crazy. Because I'm not all that mad or surprised, I should say, rather, about you picking the Red Sox. But you saying in 2 is where I'm like, so because at that point, you're not even giving the Yankees a shot. Because that means they don't win a game.
No, and I'm going to tell you why, right? It's not like they got a couple days off to think about it. You lose tomorrow, you got to get right back on the horse and try to win a game to save your life. If the Yankees win tomorrow, then I feel like, all right, we're going 3 games. Then I may be able to give them some wiggle room. I don't know if I could give them the wiggle room. The only thing I hope and pray to the baseball gods that they come through for me this time, that Haroldis Chapman has a Yankee Stadium moment in the playoffs, that he just implodes and we're all partying on 161st. Because if we are, I got news for you right now. Me and you are going to one of those division series games. It's happening. We in there. I don't know
Yeah,
when.
for sure. On a day when we're not recording. Yeah,
we listen. We'll figure it out. We in there for one of those division series games, my boy.
we'll even tell you as well. Keep in mind, Stefan did say he's going to be in the building tomorrow though for game 1. So
yeah. So listen, and you know what? It's just because I got respect for the Red Sox. This is not me just being a total Yankee fearful. Alex Cora, I didn't see his brother do it. I didn't see him win series when they said it was impossible. When, oh no, there's no way, and he does it.
Right.
This guy just wins playoff series. I don't know how, but he does it, right? And until I see Aaron Boone put his big boy pants on, and here's the thing too. Who's going to be the first manager in all of these series? Forget about Yankees, in all of these series to get gunshot with to get the quick hook with the bullpen. Who's that first manager that says, "Uh-oh, it's looking rocky right now. Yeah, get me a bullpen arm." That is what I want to see, because I'm going to tell you the truth. When you don't allow your starter to do his job, whether it's Yankees, whether it's Red Sox, because the one thing you know about Max Fried and Garrett Crochet, they're both going 6 innings.
Yeah, 6+ minimum, right?
Guaranteed. Right? Like, who in the other series can say that? The Cubs don't. The Cubs are hoping Matthew Boyd gives you 5 and fly and you're in the game.
Right.
The Padres are hoping Nick Pivetta can give you 5 and fly and you're in the game. Right?
You know what? I think the Reds get at least 6 out of Hunter Green. And in fact, I think you need it. You need it if you're gonna take out the Dodgers in that game 1. Anything less than that, you might be in trouble.
And that's why I give the Reds a shot. Because Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Bubba, when they pitch deep in the playoff games, they don't. They don't pitch deep in the games, bro.
So I saw the 3 that they're actually going with. They're going Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Ohtani. So Glasnow, I think, is coming out of the pen,
and that's a mistake.
Which is crazy. By the way, like, how do you do that?
and I'm telling you, that is why there's a chance the Dodgers lose this series.
Right.
That's Dave Roberts getting cute. How do you not pitch Tyler Glasnow? He's been one of your best starters for the last 2 months. What are we doing here? Yo, dog. I'm telling you. If the Yankees and Dodgers survive this series, they're both going to the championship series. But you got to get out of your own way first.
I actually have both of them making it there, at least this year. A rematch is probably asking for too much, but I certainly see both making it.
You got to get out of your own way first. And here's the thing. Dave Roberts, we seen him get antsy with the pin. Yeah, we seen him. I've seen you do it, right? We don't know how healthy Shohei is. That is insane. You're going with Shohei Ohtani for a game that might mean your season. And
I believe. Let me double check. Go ahead.
Shohei, it's not like he's going deep in the game. I'm telling you, boy, if you're the Dodgers and we're sitting here, by the time we get to
Snell, Yamamoto, and Ohtani.
That is crazy, bro.
Unless they make like a sudden last minute change where they go Glasnow instead.
You have to.
Because I kind of feel like when it comes to Ohtani, you got to save some of this stuff for last minute because anything could happen.
Why do you need Ohtani on the mound, period? Why is he even pitching? Why?
Why is he starting?
Why?
He
Yeah,
because he
exactly.
has to pitch. Like even if it was out of the pen, you need
Okay,
him.
okay. So if he pitches out of the pen, I'll play along. Why are you starting a game? Why?
Right. I didn't think it was gonna happen. I didn't see
Tell
it
me where that makes sense.
because he's probably only gonna give you 3, maybe 4 innings if you're
If
lucky.
that,
Yeah.
and then you're going to that makeshift bullpen in a game you need.
You know how I feel like the
Boy,
Dodgers are approaching the postseason with their pitching, bro. And if you guys ever play dominoes, you know when the game ends and you gotta like mix and match the pieces to make sure. I
hmm
kind of feel like that's what the Dodgers are doing. They're playing dominoes right now with their
it's.
bullpen, and whatever they pick up is who's coming out of the pen.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. It's almost like you ever seen a game like you pick from the hat, where
Yeah.
you pick a note out of the hat, you open it up,
Mm-hmm.
and you hope that it's the right note. It's like they playing like, you pick out of the hat. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, dog, I cannot wait. Short sample size theater at its finest. Chaos is beautiful. I cannot wait.
No,
This has
I like how you put that in there, bro. Because when I had seen it earlier, I was like, yo, you know what? It's a perfect match for how the season ended, the final week, the final day, even
chaos
with
is
some of the things that we talked about that took place earlier today. Like things is still happening, you know?
chaos is beautiful. I love it. It's as chaotic as we can possibly get.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to take a couple minutes to do the LOL Mets.
Yeah. Let's take a sec, man, for real.
So
Cause this
collective,
show is good, man. Honestly, I'm
co-
enjoying it.
collectively as a chat, let's take 10 seconds to laugh at the Mets.
By the way, guys, follow us on social media. We're on TikTok. Make sure you like, subscribe.
Let's take 10 seconds to just laugh at the Mets.
Wow, look at what Sox fan for life he asked here. Is Tanner Scott and Yates hurt?
They might as well be.
They're pitching like they are Sox fan for life.
let's take second. Let's just take some time to laugh at the Mets. Let's just take some
By the
time.
way, before you get into what you want to say, Stefan,
Boy,
listen, I tried on last week's show. For those of you who were here, I had on a throwback DeGrom shirt that was given to me at a Mets game, a few years ago. That didn't help. I had even put out a story for those of you guys who follow the show on IG.
yep.
If you're not, make sure you follow us on Instagram.
Please
I
do.
had put out a story as well with the Don't Stop Believing, because it seems like that song is played every single year from Mets fans. I listen, I did my part, folks, and I was believing, and you gotta believe, and whatever it is that you guys go by, I was trying as an outsider, because as you guys know, I'm not a Mets fan. But even I ran out of things to just come up with because I don't know what else to say, to do. I just don't know.
Try as you might, your prayers were not answered.
That's the one thing I didn't do. I didn't pray for them.
That's what they needed. They needed an exorcism too. Um,
Nick is here. Shout out to you.
LOL Mets. You know why I'm LOL Metsing you right now? Because y'all talk way too much trash for me.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that. Oh, we took over the city. City's ours now. We got the kid. We got the richest owner in sports. He's the new Steinbrenner. He's this. He's that. He's that. He's this. And you collapse like that. You go out looking sorry. And the only thing you could tell your fans is we apologize in a tweet. You couldn't stand up like a man, Steve Cohen, and talk to the media and say, listen, I failed. It was me. Forget about David Stearns. It was me. You know why? I'm blaming 95% of this on on Steve Cohen and not David Stearns. Because you're the one that signed the check for Soto. You didn't even give Stearns a choice. Steve Cohen had to man up today, put his big boy pants on, and explain to me, how did we get here? How? And if you can't do that, then you can't own the team. Because when it was time to answer some real questions, all you did was put out a tweet apologizing to the fans like that's gonna be enough. No, it ain't enough. Here's why. Because what do you tell Met fans that want to go to, that you think about going to the ballpark? You renewing season tickets after this debacle?
I wouldn't. That's for
Are,
sure.
are we renewing?
Mm-hmm.
It's not happening. Right now, I'm gonna say two things that are off the wall crazy. I've said some things already, but this one might take it. Pete Alonso gone. Edwin Diaz gone. Both gone. Ain't coming back.
Wow.
If you're Francisco Lindor, how much more of this are you gonna take before you go up to Cohen and be like, "Yeah, career winded down. We gotta have a conversation. Figure it out or flip me somewhere, please, please." Because it seems to me that you've chosen who your favorite son is at this point. Your favorite son is Soto. It's no longer me. If I'm Francisco Lindor, I make Steve Cohen choose. Me or him, pick one. You can't have
Really? One. After year one? So Lindor has been here longer. I understand what you're saying, right? Like Lindor has seen more than Soto has.
Not after year
but
one.
I think you got to give these guys a couple of years together.
Okay, so if we get to year three,
you got me.
You know how old Francisco Lindor will be in year three? How old is he now?
Lindor, he's got to be like what, in his early 30s
32?
Right now? Francisco Lindor is 31, gonna be 32 in November. So 3 more years from now, damn, he'll be 35.
You don't got 3 years. You don't.
Right.
You got 2 and a possible maybe. I can see this coming to a head as early as next offseason, bro.
Right. So maybe like a year and a half.
If these boys don't get to at least the playoffs where we're sitting here sniffing a division title, one of them got to go.
You know, there was something that came to mind earlier, Stefan, but it was after because the chat was jumping. You know, you guys were going back and forth about the Mets. I had seen a couple. I was busy at the time, so I couldn't really say much. But I'm also glad that I was busy because I really wanted to save it for the show here tonight with the chat. But I know, you know, there was some chatter about like, oh, maybe somebody should be fired, this and that. And I was like, you know what? Maybe not, especially when you look at what they did last season. But you know what? I think it makes a lot of sense because they actually already gave these guys a second chance. The second chance was this season because they chose to run it back with the same exact squad who made it to the NLCS in 2024. So I'm a little surprised now that I actually took some time to really think about it.
Yeah.
When I thought about last season and the way that it ended, when I thought about how this season came to, you know, a nightmare ending, literally.
Here's
I said, you know what? Maybe certain guys do have to be on the go.
Right, but if you're a Met fan right now, forget about me being a baseball fan, a Met hater. I've been called, yo, you're a Met hater. You hate the Mets.
That's crazy because we give them a lot of credit as Yankees fans. That's wild.
I'm gonna be totally honest. How do you justify Carlos Mendoza keeping his job? You literally were collapsing in a dead heap for the last 3.5 months, and he did nothing. The boys didn't come out ready to play. The boys treated that game yesterday as if they're going on. They're the Marlins. They had no sense of urgency to them yesterday. The game Friday night, the 5th inning implosion. I'm like, well, what are we back in Williamsport? I'm watching a Little League team right now.
You know what's funny, Steph? You talk about that series between the Mets and the Marlins. And did you hear what the Mets broadcast team, Gary Keith and what's his other Ron?
Yeah.
You know, rather than and I get it. You guys you speak Mets for a living. They sign your checks at the end of the day. So I get it. But could you believe? Because in my opinion, I think the right thing to do while having that job at the end of the season. Now, if there were some games left, you don't want to really have this type of energy, right? With what I'm about to say. The season is over. Why on earth did these guys care more about the Marlins taking team pictures rather than your damn team that shot themselves in the leg?
Yes.
Like, who cares? years, bro. Oh, that's their World Series. What? Yeah. Yeah, they took out the team with the second highest payroll in Major League Baseball. Let's
And
take some damn pictures, why don't
and
you?
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Gotta compose myself because there's kids watching. Or at least I tell myself that so I don't get us banned off of YouTube.
I'm sick and tired of the Mets. I'm actually glad they're out of the picture, by the way.
Listen, nobody should speak. Nobody should I don't even want to hear Mets in a sentence to spring training. I don't want to hear it. The only thing I want to hear coming out of Flushing, Queens is that Steve Cohen is going to sit down with the media in a press conference and tell me what went wrong. See, because to me that was a cowardice move to put David Stearns up there by himself.
Oh, with the conference earlier today? I saw a little bit of it.
They are at the point where you're putting.
See, you saw what Rick said there, right? The ironic part is the Mets season, Rick. I'm just saying, but
Listen,
whatever.
I'll say this: you putting the general manager out there by himself is pathetic, ironic, and dysfunctional. It's typical Mets, to use Nick's phrase.
Mm-hmm.
How does David Stearns have to take all the shrapnel? And David Stearns, I'm sorry, but Mendy's coming back right away. You're not even going to take time to sit there and think about whether or not he deserves another shot to be back. You're telling him, here's the vote of confidence right away. What did he do to earn that vote of confidence? Because to me, firing the coaches around him don't make sense if you're really not going to get to the root of the issue. The root of the issue is you don't look like you knew what you were doing when it got hot in the kitchen, brother. We have to if we're going to evaluate this, like they said, we're going to take everything into consideration. We're going to evaluate every part of the organization. Giving Mendoza a vote of confidence after a collapse that like we have never seen before is a dereliction of duty. That means that you are already planning, no matter how it ended, he was coming back. How do you do that? How do you explain that? How do you sell the fans, hey, we changed the pitching coach, we changed the bench coach, we changed the hitting coach, we changed his entire staff, but he's still here? That is crazy. That is insane. Somebody needs to ask Steve Cohen, yo, do you feel like the question I would ask Steve Cohen is, yo, all that big boy Cohen, King Cohen talk, right? You spent $765 million. Is it worth it now? Well, he looks disheveled, like he don't even want to be in Queens. That brother look like he's longing for Yankee Stadium right now.
And you know what's crazy, Stefan? One of the things that you had pointed out when we had first got into this topic regarding the Mets, you had said that they talk too much, right? And it's crazy. We could even go as far back as to last offseason. Like that's when the chatter really began.
Mm-hmm.
Like all they did was if you want to call it steal, right? I don't really think it was a steal because you guys fumbled actually, right? But you stole Juan Soto, and that's when it all began. Like not one pitch was thrown. You had people screaming and hollering, oh, it's a Mets town. The Mets run New York. We didn't even see how Lindor and Soto being on the same team was going to look on the field.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We didn't see how not deciding to bring back Severino Quintana was going to look in regards to the rotation.
Yeah.
Clay Holmes was an experiment from day one. Like, listen, man, and I want to say this about Mets fans too. I usually don't engage in this stuff. If you know me, you know me. Steph, you know this about me. Rick, Emilio, Nick, Chad, everybody in the chat. And even for some people who watch or have been watching from some time, you guys probably know this about me. But I don't want to hear no Mets fans until the offseason. Don't speak on the playoffs. Don't speak about the Yankees. Don't cheer for the Dodgers. Don't cheer for the Red Sox. Just don't do it. Like, go away. I don't want to hear y'all till November, bro.
Not even.
I say this because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
If the Yankees lose a game, even if they win the series against the Sox, bro, let the Yankees lose at least
Yeah.
one game
Mm-hmm.
against the Red Sox, and
Yeah.
suddenly we got the Boston Mets or the New York Red Sox. That's what
Yeah.
they turn into. Yo,
Yeah.
don't do it, y'all. Nick,
Um,
if you're here, tell your people, bro. Don't do it.
he better not do it because you know he gonna start.
Nick, you know what? Now that you said it, yo, don't do it, bro.
All right, all
Please.
right. So this is an interesting question. I'll go the other way. If you fire Mendoza, who do you hire? Me, I got two names off the rip right now that I'm thinking about hiring if it was me. One is Joe Girardi. Joe Girardi with that Mets team could be interesting. I kind of like that. Knows New York, knows the pressure in New York, won a championship. Very, I mean, got that fire. Joe's won. He's a winner. And the other guy, is a little bit off the beaten path, but not even off the beaten path. The other guy's Carlos Beltran. Two
Right.
guys right there.
Maybe
You
they
got
revisit that.
you got options if you really want to make. See, I'm not saying you shouldn't bring Mendoza back, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying give it some consideration before you automatically run to, yo, he's coming back no matter what happens.
Right. The day after you guys
Give
just
it give
imploded.
it some time to sit with you. Yo, give us a week. Give us some time. Let us talk to Mendy. Let us talk to the staff. Let's talk to Steve. Let's get everybody's input. You went up there today and you said, yo, he's coming back. And that's it. And Mendy's safe. And why? Is he safe because you say so? Because what happens if you get off to an awful start next year and you fire him middle of the season and you got to bring in a manager to save your season? You know how irresponsible that looks?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this collapse enough? That's 4 games. That's 4 months. That's no small sample. That's 4 months. And they weren't great to start the season last year before they got unbelievably hot.
Yeah, it was actually the reverse. This year they got off to a great start and then they collapsed. Last year got off to a terrible start and then they got hot.
Right. So it's like, where did he earn the rope?
Oh, and by the way, too, because Steve Cohen, David Stearns, all these names going around
Crazy,
with this
bro.
Mets topic. By the way, Mets fans, and listen, I don't mean to bring this up again purposely, Nick, but I think now's a great time. Steve Cohen failed at what he actually wished the fan base when he first purchased the team. Remember, he bought the team in 2020, right? So he's been owner of the team for what? 5 full seasons, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then now ultimately the greatest collapse of all time being
Right.
2025.
Yeah.
But remember, when he purchased the team, he had told the fan base that he was looking to win a championship within 3 to 5 years.
Tough.
Last time I checked, 2025 was year 5 of you being the owner now, bro. I mean, I think you should have, worded that a little differently as opposed to putting 3 to 5 years.
Or what I would have said was, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me talk to let me get a feel. Let me get a lay of the land before I open my mouth. Rick with a good point here. He says, Cohen can't handle the media prep. Then you in the wrong city, my boy.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Rick. Yeah, because it goes right along with what I just said.
You in the wrong city. I don't want to hear that. You in the media capital of the world and you can't handle the media? That's like living in Milwaukee saying, yo, I can't eat cheese. I'm lactose intolerant. I can't eat dairy. What?
They known for cheese out there?
The cheeseheads. Why you think they call Packer fans cheeseheads? Milwaukee's the dairy capital.
I didn't know. That's fun fact of the day.
Word up. Craziness. Listen, MF fans, I don't blame y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame y'all. If you want to go scorched earth, I don't blame y'all if you don't renew your season tickets. I don't blame you if you jump off the ship. If you've been doing this for 30, 40, maybe even 50 years, I don't blame y'all. I really don't, right? What I will ask you though is, what's going to keep you coming back after something like this? Because it's not like it was a quick collapse. This was like get a death by 1,000 cuts, right? where you're like, you got cut here, little cut
You
there,
watched it
little cut.
happen slowly, yeah.
And you're just like, damn, bro, like how many cuts can I take? And by the time you know it, the patient done died.
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do, man, fans? I don't blame you if you go either way. I know one thing we are gonna do right now. We about to end this show.
I had before we leave, I had seen a list of the free agents in terms of who's gonna leave the Mets. There's a lot of names there, man. Pete Alonso opted out. Edwin Diaz didn't opt out, but he does have an opt-out clause, right?
Yeah, he can.
But then some of the other names, like I saw Rogers there, Cedric Mullins, Jesse Winker. I'm gonna be honest, man. A lot of those guys like don't even have conversations with them. Like if I were the Mets, I know you guys have something personal when it comes to Pete Alonso. I wouldn't look that way. I would realistically, the only guy who I would probably have a conversation with, and you said no, but I actually like him and what he's done for the Mets is Edwin Diaz. But other than that, man, like everybody else could go. Anybody could get it. And you know what? Even if Edwin Diaz does opt out, like you said, does it really matter if he does come back anyway? Because it's not like you knew what to do when you had him to begin with.
Here's the point. Here's the point I'm gonna make, right? What good is a closer when you're gonna barely be winning 80 games next year?
Damn, you think they go?
You see that pitching?
That's another thing that we have to see that they address.
Yo, my boy, listen. I'm ending this right now. We ending this stream.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta ask one question.
Mm-hmm.
When have we seen David Stearns acquire some good starting pitching that made you go, "Oh wow, they did the thing"?
Nah, he's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that.
Just like this show, their season's gonna have the same result next year because it is over, y'all. Peace out. We'll see y'all Wednesday night.
Yo, less than 80 games is crazy, bro.
I could see it.
I could see the Marlins being better than them.
I can see it. Speaking of being better, this show is awesome. We out.
Peace. We're out of here, y'all.